From all over the country, the very best accounting students converge on Sunway City. Over the years, Sunway College has developed thousands of successful accountants.
We are the largest provider of professional accountants to the Big Five in Malaysia. This is a serious profession, and at Sunway College, we mean business.
When I say accountancy, you think of the numbers. But it's much more than that. To change things for the better, drive prosperity and create opportunity. Who can make the numbers do all that? We're leaders. ACCA accountants understand teamwork and know how to maximize opportunities. We're essential partners in getting businesses to achieve their goals. We're communicators, able to imagine and inspire. If all the world's a stage, you must be able to speak on it. We're pioneers who test boundaries and push frontiers. We challenge people to think ahead and make ethical choices. We love sustainable solutions to today's problems. The future is ours to protect and nurture. We're digital. We harness the power of technology to innovate and push boundaries and be a positive force for good. We're artists, applying original solutions to real-world problems. When misfortune strikes, it's not just money that's needed to rebuild, but an energetic mind and original voice to overcome the odds. We're ambitious. Our accountants know no boundaries and harness the power of diverse cultures to seek out international opportunities. Accounting is the global language of business, and being fluent can take you anywhere. So when I say accountancy, sure, think of the numbers. The number of lives changed, systems improved, business successes, environments saved. Studying to become an ACCA finance professional means to future-proof your passions, your skills, your life for the opportunities of a brighter tomorrow.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sunway TES. And this evening, we have got two of our graduates coming in. And let me tell you, they are no less a celebrity. Let's bring in our first guest, Aaron Tan.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Aaron. Welcome to our show this evening. And, I saw your resume. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you very much.
One heck of a resume. It's a long list, but let me start off by just talking about your academic qualification. You are the top 3 or the third top world affiliate. That's an achievement. And the top affiliate in Malaysia, as well as you are a double top scorer for paper F4 Corporate and Business Law, as well as AFM Advanced Financial Management. Wow, that deserves a big round of applause. Totally and absolutely amazing. And there is a lot more. Viewers, please hold on. You'll be amazed with all his participation and achievements that we have. And joining us this evening as well is Chai Wei Shen. May we have her, please?
Hello, everyone. I'm Wei Shen.
Hi, Wei Shen. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. And Wei Shen is also no less. She's also got, she's been a prize winner for paper P3, business analysis, which is now replaced with the strategic business leader. And she has also achieved, both of them, in fact, have achieved straight passes. Before we go any further, I'm introduce myself. I'm the host for this evening. My name is Kiran. I'm a senior lecturer in Sunway TES. And it's really a pleasure for me to be here with both of you this evening. Welcome once again to Sunway TES. I'm sure it's really good to be back and come back as alumni, isn't it? Right,
yeah,
Aaron?
definitely.
And it's always nice to be able to come back to your alma mater. If it was not for the RMCO, we would definitely be in Sunway TES campus.
Yes,
When
maybe
was
we'll be
your
holding a physical one, right?
Yes, exactly. We'll
Yes.
be holding a physical one, definitely. And sitting at home and sitting in the, or maybe in the office, but sitting in the auditorium, it will be something different, isn't it? And at one point, you were the other end of the auditorium, and this time you'll be in the front of the auditorium hosting the event, or basically, having a sharing session. Yeah. All right, let me just run through some of the achievements. We'll start with Aaron first. Yeah, you came in. So I mentioned in terms of being the top affiliate in Malaysia, third placing in the whole world for that exam sitting, and being a top scorer for your corporate law paper. That is a paper which sometimes many people feel a lot of challenges, isn't it, Aaron?
Yeah, it's a relatively technical paper. We have to read about the corporate act, about the business act, the contracts act. So it is a bit dry for a lot of people. But then with perseverance, with a lot of constant studying, revision, it is actually a doable paper.
Did you expect to be a top scorer?
No, it wasn't for my expectations. I actually just wanted a pass actually for the paper. So it actually came to a surprise when the results were announced through my phone actually, when SMS actually came through.
So you mean to say that you were aiming for a pass and you got more than a pass?
Yeah,
That's
it
fantastic,
was a
isn't it?
wonderful surprise.
What about you, Vishen? Did you expect to be a top scorer for your P3?
No, I actually same as Aaron. I just aim for a pass, but I make sure like whenever I'm sitting for a paper, I will try my very best. So it come out to be a prize winner for me. So I'm actually very surprised. But actually, I think a lot of things have helped me directly and indirectly. My participation in other competitions and events, as well as the theory I learned in the classroom. So it come out to be a perfect match that I can apply in the business analysis paper. Yeah, so it's actually a bonus for me. So I'm really, I feel really lucky and really glad about it. Yeah.
Yes, Vishen, you were my student previously. It was
Yes.
my honor to have had you in my class for the AA paper, yeah, audit and assurance. And I know how hardworking you are. And I will say, I don't think there was ever a situation you did not do your homework. You were very diligent, always keeping up to date with your studies. I would say that I think that's your secret in
Yes,
terms
I
of,
think that's
how.
really important as well, like consistent revision, as well as making sure you pay attention in the classes, as well as completing the homework. Actually, I think, we might not, some of the students might not place very important, might not think that it's very important, but actually is very important. And that I would say that is the key tip for us to pass the exam. I think everyone will agree with me on this.
Definitely. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm very sure of that. That both of you have been very consistent. But students, right? We normally start off by setting aims in the first week, the second week. Yes, yes, we'll continue. But to sustain right through consistent work till the end of the semester, and then continuing on until revision till the exam, could that be a challenge? Aaron, Vishen, any one of you? Aaron,
yeah,
you would like to take?
yeah, sure. I guess that yes, it's true. During the very first day, we all have a lot of hopes. We all will say that, oh, during the first week, I'll definitely finish 3 chapters. By the end of the first month, I'll definitely finish all the chapters and all. Uh, yeah, it's true. We all have all of these hopes. So what I believe in and what I actually really encourage people is to set realistic goals and to actively work on towards it. Because when you have a goal in mind and when you actually try your very best to actually achieve it, in the end, after all the hard work, after all the nights studying in college, after all the notes that you have prepared, it will actually come to fruition in the end. So have a constant mindset that you want to achieve something.
I think that's an excellent sharing. And since you mentioned about late nights in college, what was the latest that you were in college? Rachel, you're
So
laughing, so you were part of it as well, is it?
No, because I used to take the Sunway bus to go home. So I usually study in the library when I was waiting for the bus. And after that, I will go home, have a dinner, shower, and then I will continue. Yeah, but for Aaron, it's a different story because he stay in hostel, so he can be as late as he want.
So you mean to
yeah,
say,
sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, sure. I actually stay in the Sunway University apartment. So, well, the latest that I've actually stayed inside campus itself was around 12 a.m. and that was actually about 1 or 2 weeks before the actual final exams. So, but usually, no, like usually it's good to have a life also. So,
Yes.
so I try not to study too much and over exert myself, overstress
Aaron,
myself.
one
So
minute.
yeah,
Did you say one minute? Sorry. I had to interrupt. Did you say it correctly? Not to study too much. How can you not
yes, it's
study?
true.
No, it doesn't gel. You can't be the top third affiliate in the world and the top affiliate in Malaysia. It just doesn't gel.
Yeah,
Actually, I
yeah,
agree. I agree on this. Sometimes it doesn't mean that if you spend a lot of time keep on studying alone, closing yourself in the library for the whole day, that means you can achieve a good result. It doesn't work so.
sure.
You need to have your time to relax your mind so that you can have a fresh brain to absorb the heavy syllabus again. So I think and also very depending on individual. Some people
True.
actually learn more effectively during the morning, and some actually are night person. So we just need to know what's our learning style and then try to maximize our strength on it.
That's very
Yes,
interesting
true.
on what you said about learning style, because some people only seem to think that if they just do a reading, actually
Mm.
there is this VAK, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. And it's very important for each person to find out what is their style. Since I'm on this is just to share with the viewers online. You can always go and Google up VAK learning styles, and that would help you to, you have to answer a series of questions, and that will help you to determine. And it's so important because you may be spending time studying and you think you're a visual, but maybe you are an auditory. All right. So thanks for bringing that up. Let me ask Vision, since I was with you, since you just brought that up, was accounting always your choice, your
Uh,
first choice?
I would say that after I graduated from SPM, I wasn't very sure which course I wanted to pursue. But actually, I did get a lot of encouragement from my family's friends as well as teachers to take on ACCA and CAT, accountancy pathway. So at the point of time, I was hesitating. But then what attracted me and made me make the final decision is because of the job opportunity and job security that it can offer. Because all my friends and teachers, they told me that, in Malaysia, as we all know, we are currently lacking in accountants. So accountants are in high demand. So you have a higher
Sure.
chance of being employed. And also another thing that they like to tell me is even during recession, accountants usually still play a very important role. So it didn't affect, it would be less impacted compared to other industry. So at the point of time, I actually didn't know how true it was, but I think the current situation right now, the economy is seriously impacted by the COVID-19. So it's actually the economy is facing downturn. And I am lucky that, I've listened to them because compared to other industry like airline or hospitality, our industry and profession actually is less seriously impacted compared to them. And also another
True.
good thing is we can actually cope with the new working style immediately. For example, during MCO, we can actually still continue our work effectively at home. So we have the work from home initiative introduced by our firm. So I think I'm glad that I made the right choice. So if you're interested in accounting and finance and accountancy, I think ACCA can be part of your consideration. Yeah.
Certainly. That was a very good sharing. What about you, Erin? Was accounting always your first choice growing up? Was that what you wanted to do?
Well, last time doing SPM, I was actually a full pure science student actually. So
Mm-hmm.
I've never done accounting before in college, in high school. So every day was more towards like biology, chemistry, how does the body work and all. So the question actually came to my mind after I finished SPM was, oh my God, I've finished my studies. I've done studying. I've done passing my exam. So what do I want to do next? After SPM. So I was a bit lost for about a few days, for a few weeks. So I kept on researching about what are the suitable careers that I can venture into. So one of the ones that actually came to mind was actually to be a pharmacist. But in the end, after thinking a bit longer, I thought that maybe pharmacy is not a very good choice for me. I don't really like blood, and I don't really like being in that situation to have to react to life-threatening situations. So I didn't find that to be something that I would prefer. So in the end, I actually asked my parents on what are the suggestions, what do they think that I could be. So my father actually brought up that CAT ACCA sounds not bad. Being an accountant is actually quite important in Malaysia, and as like what Vishen said, we are in we are quite lacking in terms of accountants in Malaysia. So I read a bit more about accountancy in Malaysia. What do accountants do? So as a pure science student, what I thought accountants do was actually just to count figures, just to see. I just thought that we were bookkeepers, but actually we are much more than that. So
That's what normally
after reading
everyone
through all of
thinks,
this,
right? Sorry.
yes,
I mean, that's what.
normally everyone thinks that we are bookkeepers, but actually we
Yeah.
are much more than that. So after that, I thought that CTAC sounds not bad. So I went to a college fair, an education fair in, I think, Mid Valley. So ACCA was there, and I had a talk with one of the counselors, and I found that okay, maybe I will try that. So I went to Sunway, and I signed up for ACCA, and well, here this is where I am now.
Excellent. And you know what, Aaron, I totally resonate with you. I also was a full pure science student. Yeah, so when I decided, I actually was supposed to go to Australia and do my studying, and I didn't get a place. And then I ended up doing a degree. And later, when I was at work, and my employer, the firm, basically said I have to do ACCA, and I'm so thankful that they insisted I do ACCA. Actually, I wanted to do ACCA too, but I needed Form 6, so that time they didn't have CAT. All right, so yeah, that's how I got around to doing my ACCA. Aaron, you mentioned something very interesting, that you went to the fair and you went to ACCA. How did you land in Sunway then?
Oh, actually it's because my father actually he brought it up because he saw like one of his colleagues actually told him that one of the best colleges that actually offer ACCA is at Sunway TES. They are famous for having very high passing rates. They are very famous for producing world-class graduates,
Thank
people
you for
who
saying
win
that.
prizes and all. Yes, thank you very much. And well, it is true. I've landed in
And you
Sunway,
have
and
contributed, Aaron, you have contributed to it as well.
yeah, true. And then one of the major things that actually brought me to Sunway was because of the wonderful environment in Sunway. So it's a very conducive environment. We have a very, very nice big library. If you all want to know, it's very nice. And we actually have very, very dedicated and supportive lecturers like Miss Shiuan. Thank you very much. So
Thank you.
without these lecturers, without all my lecturers, and without the
Sure.
support that Sunway TES has actually given to me, I don't think I would be where I am today.
I would say that, Aaron, it's a collaboration. Your lecturers play a part and the individuals play a part as well. Thank you for those kind words for Sunway TES and for the lecturing team. We're totally honored with that. What about you, Vichen? What made you come to Sunway?
Oh, well, basically, I think I agree with Aaron. Sunway TES is having good reputation in terms of their professional courses. And also we can see from the awards, the platinum status, that they have been, getting the award for so many years consecutively. So it actually gave me confidence to take on the course there. So maybe, so a lot of the reasons are very similar to what Aaron have told you. So maybe I'll just share more about my personal experience after choosing to study in Sunway. So I think what actually made me feel that it is very good and amazing is the initiative that has been taken up by Sunway TES to create a lot of touch point between the graduate and the potential future employers. And I think that's really important. So as early as when I first started to join CAT, even in the first month itself, so we were introduced with this competition called Nurturing Business Champion, where
NBC,
we got NBC competition, where we actually need to present a business proposal with a brand new product idea to the judges coming from the Big Five. So it's the first touch point that I actually get connected with the future employers. So I have a connection with them. So I more or less can know, okay, maybe I will need to interact with them more so that I know what they expect from a graduate. So that's the first touch point. And then moving on to F level, that is the second touch point where we have something called Audit Simulation, where we
Yes.
get to experience to be an auditor for 1 week or two to audit a mini company. And then at the end of the audit simulation, we will present our audit working paper, all our hard work and sweat after late nights to the judges coming from Big Five as well. So the
Yes.
judges are all the auditors from the Big Five firms, and they give personal feedback on your
True.
soft skills as well as your audit working paper. So that's the second touch point. And going into professional level, which is my final level in the course. So I'm getting ready to apply for a job. So Sunway TES created more touch point by, organizing interviewing workshop.
Yes.
A resume writing workshop, interview session to the graduates to connect the graduate with the future employers. So I think all these touch point is very important, even though it might appear to be, small in the beginning, but end up actually, you might be having a better expectation on what the employers expect from you. So throughout the 3 years, by introducing you to the employers as early as CAT, so you get some time to prepare yourself. So at the end of the course, you will feel that, I'm ready to be employed and I'm ready to look for a job. So I think the touch point created by the Sunway TES is something that I will really appreciate. Yeah, I think that's really good.
Thank you for that heartfelt sharing. I'm I believe, when you first had that touch point, as you call it, at CAT at NBC, I'm sure you must have been very impressed, right?
Yes, indeed. So back then when I started, I wasn't very familiar with, all the professional services firms. So after that, I get to know more about them. I also started researching about them, and then I start to, plan step by step on maybe how I want to work and shape myself in order to be a better candidate that they want to look for. So yeah, I think the touch point actually give me the idea as well as give me the opportunity to improve myself. Yeah.
Certainly, and these are the salient features of Sunway TES, and we are not just a tuition provider. And to sum up, like what Aaron said, the campus, and it makes a lot of difference. Just to share with you, to both of you and to everyone else, when I studied my ACCA, it was a block of building. And I would say that, when I look at the students, they are coming in to do a professional course, but they are getting a campus, a university environment, which is absolutely fantastic. There are so many activities they take on. Yeah. So, both you're sharing in terms of how, you came to Sunway TES and how Sunway TES has played a role. That's really interesting. I would just like to add on for the benefit of the viewers, Sunway TES is the only one that has the audit simulation program. Just like how pilots have a flight simulation, in Sunway TES, we actually prepare our students before they actually go off to work to take part in an audit simulation. We are the only ones. And from last year, we have gone global. All right, we have had participants from Indonesia, Dubai, Bahrain. And I think this year we were supposed to have had a big group, but with the MCO, it has been postponed, and now we are going to have one in December. I believe it is going to be an online one, so that's going to be quite a challenging one for us, but we are definitely going to embark on that. Yeah. And Aaron, what about you? I mean, how has Sunway TES impacted you?
Well, Sunway really did bring a lot of impacts to me. So last time when I first started college, what I actually thought, studying ACC was it was to be a 100% exam-based course. Every day just study. But Sunway TES truly actually made me realize that studying is not everything. There's actually much more things that you can do in college. So in college, you can actually join a lot of activities. You can join competitions. You can join a lot of these clubs and societies in Sunway. We have more than 100, by the way. And you can actually join all these student bodies that is outside of college. So yeah, and just like what I've said just now, life is more than about studying. So Sunway TES has really supported me throughout my journey in college. So I've joined quite a few competitions, such as the NBC, which was introduced by Sunway TES. That was the very first touch point that Sunway has actually provided me. to actually venture into all of these co-curricular activities. So after that, we actually joined other competitions, like for example, the Deloitte Tax Challenge, where Sunway TES actually supported us. They actually encouraged us to join all of these competitions, whereby they actually, whereby the lecturers actually proactively actually help us to guide us on what are the main things that we should prepare on, how do we prepare our soft skills, how to actually prepare our technical knowledge before we actually go into the competition. So, and with all the guidance and all of the support from the lecturers and from the college itself, and from getting trainers from outside of college to
Yes.
actually come and support us and to actually train us on how do we present ourselves, what is the best standing position that you should stand when you are presenting to, for example, a board of directors. And actually, by providing us all of these tips and tricks, it actually
Yes.
helped to grow me as a person, help me to grow as a person, and help to actually provide me support throughout my whole college life.
And Aaron, since you were talking about challenges and which you have participated, let me just read out what are the ones that so the benefit of the viewers, because I said you have taken part in so many competitions, yeah. So you have been a champion at the Multimedia University National Intervarsity Accounting Quiz 2019, first runner-up Deloitte's Southeast Asia Tax Challenge 2019 individual category, champion and best writer Deloitte's Tax Challenge 2018 individual category, national finalist Maybank Go Ahead Challenge 2018, semi-finalist ICMS Malaysia Public Policy Competition 2018, special mention award PwC Trust Builders the Building Trust Challenge 2018, semi-finalist Multimedia University National Intervarsity Accounting Quiz 2018, alumnus in McKinsey Youth Leadership Academy 2017, merit award winner Deloitte Tax Challenge 2017 team category, as well as in the team lead Sunway TES Audit Simulation 2017. And I think there are another one or two more which you have taken part, which I'm going to, there's a special mention for the other one, which I want you to explain. But it's amazing. The list is so long. Big
Thank you
round
very
of
much.
applause. It's amazing.
Thank you very much.
Aaron, what gave you the confidence to go into so many competitions?
Well, it actually occurred to me because after the NBC competition actually happened, I actually thought to myself that studying is important, but in college we actually build up our hard skills, our technical skills. So ACC actually gives us all the accounting, how do we our accounting standards, how do we actually account for a transaction, and about how do we actually have all the technical skills when we actually go into work. But there's actually one thing that we can actually learn from outside of campus, which are all the soft skills.
Very
about
true.
critical thinking skills, our presentation skills, how do we communicate with people, how do we actually prepare presentation slides and all. So all of this can only be learned through, in my opinion, through all of these active participations in co-curricular activities. So I wanted to be able to enhance myself in terms of that, because at that point in time in 2016, 2017, I felt that I didn't really know how to present myself. So in order to learn how to be better, I wanted to go into all of these things to actually bring myself out of the comfort zone. And yeah, that is why I actually joined all these competitions. And for the benefit of the viewers, actually, by joining all these competitions, it builds up all these critical thinking skills that's actually extremely vital, especially when you go into the strategic professional levels, or even when you go into the fundamental levels, in the foundation levels. Because once you go up higher in the course, what the examiners and what people expect of you is not on how you regurgitate information, but it's actually
Very
how
true.
you interpret and how you analyze a scenario, a case study. So by joining all these competitions, you actually build up that capability, and with the technical skills that you actually have from your ACCA knowledge, from your classes and all, combining them together, you'll be a very good combination, especially when you do your exams, and especially after you've actually done your exams, when you actually go into the workforce. So these skills actually is extremely useful, and I'm using it even when I'm working now.
Aaron, I'm so glad you chose the path less chosen. I mean, there were many ways that you could have built up, but getting into one competition was fine. Getting into competition after competition, that's really perseverance.
I guess every competition that we join, it actually enhances the foundation that we actually built from the previous competition. So it's like it's building up on the previous ones.
And I guess it's maybe appropriate to say this, which is Vaish's quote, is always seems impossible until it's done.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't it? And Vishen, you too have got a huge, a long list of achievement as well. Champion in National InterVarsity Accounting Quiz 2019, Special Mention Award PwC Trust Builders Challenge 2018, winner, second runner-up Deloitte Tax Challenge 2018, winner, Merit Awards in Deloitte's Tax Challenge 2017, Best Presenter Deloitte's Tax Challenge 2017. Student consultant for the Malaysian social project endorsed by the BCG Group, PwC Trust Ambassador, Deloitte Student Ambassador, National ACC Student Leadership Development Program as a participant, champion in the Sunway Nurturing and the NBC Program 2016. Wow, another big round of applause. Amazing.
Thank you.
How did Vision? How did you balance taking part in competition and studying?
Yeah, so I think how I balance my time. So it all comes to time management skill, which I think is really important. So what happened is, as we all know, I think ACCA and CAT courses are very heavy and it's also very hectic.
Certainly.
You have so many classes in a day, sometimes even 8 hours a day. Then after that, you need to make sure you do revision before the next class. If not, you can't catch up. So
True.
yeah, so
Very true.
the tips that I have in balancing the co-curricular activities as well as academic is I will always plan my day. So before I start every day, I will have a plan in my mind on what I'm going to complete today. So for example, if I have 8 hours of classes, I will allocate 8 hours to fully concentrating in the class. So after that, maybe I will need a few hours to do revision. So I will allocate some time for my revision. And then I will look at how much extra time I have to join other activities or how I want to spend my time. So I usually love to join competitions, events to spend my extra time because I think, I don't want my college life to be just studying in the library every day and also, just close myself in the classroom every day. I want my college life to be more like a college life, to be more interesting. Yeah, that's why I chose to join a lot of activities. And indeed, I have a lot of eye-opening experiences. So I even like to learn different skills, joining the clubs and societies that are totally not related to accountancy. So, for example, I joined a Sunway Technology Club, learning about how to build a mobile app or maybe a website, and also learning a new language, joining some volunteering events. So I think all the activities as well as academic wise, it all comes to time management, which I believe it is a very important skill to not only plan our daily life, but is also surviving ACCA exam. Why do I say so? Because I think we all know that ACCA exams is just 3 to 4 hours, and we have so many pages of questions that we need to digest, so much to write, and sometimes we need some time to think. And so by learning how to allocate time to different tasks
Very
or maybe
true.
different questions that you need to answer, so you can make sure that you get everything done. So, and also when we do a planning in our daily life, we need to be very detailed. For example, I usually will set how many pages of the textbook notes that I need to finish by today.
Wow,
But
that's
while being
amazing.
yeah, but while being very specific to your plan also allows some flexibility, because we know that sometimes, things can happen anytime without, being able to consider in our plan. So allow some flexibility. For example, if today you need to finish 10 pages of notes, for example, but you have something and you can't finish it on time, so make sure you just incorporate it in your plan tomorrow to replace what you have missed out today, so that you make sure that you prioritize what is more important and you can complete on time. Yeah, so I think time management skill is very important, and it's actually is very important skill that I will still apply today, even though I'm working as an auditor. We know that it's very busy. So how do we manage our time to have a work-life balance? So I think it's good that we start practicing the time management skill, as early as, right now. Yeah.
I'm very sure it's this attitude of wanting, as a go-getter, but not being rigid, and your desire in wanting to be exposed to a lot of things has actually helped you to achieve, all this that that you have in your resume. And not only that, I don't think it's just about this awards, but when you participated in competitions, you're networking with your lecturers, when you go for the events with the hosts, with the other participants, when you took part, you have your team with that, so you have a team fostering team spirit. I'm sure in between you may have had hiccups, challenges, how you want to manage that, juggle with your studying. It's amazing. And I think in a very short span of time, you all have been exposed to quite a lot of things. Very impressive, very impressive. Aaron, how has ACCA and Sunway TES contributed to work life, to your work
Well,
as an auditor in PwC?
okay, well, ACC has really prepared me a lot, and especially with the support of my lecturers in Sunway TES. So when we're auditing, we actually depend a lot on the accounting standards, on how do we actually account for a particular transaction. For example, when we purchase a building, perhaps should it be classified as an investment property? Should it be classified as a PPE, property plant equipment?
Yeah.
So the ACC actually provides the technical skills, the hard skills to actually allow us to interpret a situation, a scenario. So in college, we learn that everything is quite textbooky, but actually when we go into work, when we actually start work as an auditor, these are actually very, very applicable. It is completely applicable into the real life situation. So ACC has truly blessed me with all these technical skills, and I've actually used them a lot in my day-to-day work. So especially when I was a fresh graduate, especially when I first started work last year, so everything was new to me. But because of the strong foundation that I had in ACCA, it actually helped to smoothen the learning curve for me. And thankfully, the lecture assignment test, they truly really gave us a lot of notes. They gave us a lot of lectures, and the way they have taught us what made it very easy for us to absorb, and it really resonated with me. It really stayed with me up until even today when I start working. I still recall the classes that I had with my lecturers in the past. So, and
Very
with the
interesting.
yes.
Aaron, only recalling the lectures, or you're hearing your lecturer's voice as well?
Oh, especially hearing the lecturer's voice,
Yes.
every single day when I see that those words, those intonations actually really appeared in front of me.
And you're talking about accounting standards. I can only have one name for you.
We all know her name, Miss Mannon.
Miss Manon,
Miss
definitely,
Mannon.
definitely. And the amount of hours you spend doing that paper is almost like literally living in campus, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. Those accounting stats, oh my God, those. Yeah, but
But don't,
yeah, it was hard at first, but then after a while, it became much better and much easier to handle. So yeah, perseverance, constant revision, and know what do you need to do, and manage your time.
It might sound
we
very stressful, but
sure.
actually, like after we have graduated, right, we actually miss the time we spend in the classes, getting maybe, scolded or shouted by the lecturers, or having time
Oh
pressure
no, that's
to
not
face
a
my
nice
exam.
impression.
Yeah.
Scolded.
No,
No,
I mean,
no,
I
no.
mean, of course, I do
You
miss
miss
the
it,
jokes as well.
sometimes
Yeah,
you
it's
miss it
like the
sometimes
jokes,
when you start working.
the pressure that, you have been through is tough times, but you are going to miss it. So I will advise, all of the students who are currently still studying, please enjoy your college life. Yeah.
You know what? Both of you beat my question. That was going to be my question. Which side of the grass is greener? Being a student or being in employment?
Okay. Yeah.
And both of you have participated in this event, which is a Sunway Lip Platinum.
Mm.
Um, e- Either one of you, who wants to go first? And why don't you share what that Sunway Lip Platinum? It was something new to me as well.
Mm. Okay.
Vishen, would
Yeah.
you like to share what is a Sunway Lip Platinum?
Sure. So basically, Sunway Lead Platinum is a 2-year program organized by Sunway College to actually develop and prepare the students to be more ready to face the working world. So there are a series of programs designed to sharpen our soft skills. For example, there will be talks and workshops that train our leadership skill, that boost our confidence in presenting, as well as how to control our emotions, as well as a lot of interesting and relevant topic that is vital for us to pick up the skill so that we can apply it, especially in our working life. And another program that they have is actually mentoring program, where we are actually engaged to one mentor, alumni of Sunway, who has stepped up to the working world to guide us and share with us about their working experience. Sometimes as a student, we think the working world looks like this, but in reality, it might be very different from what I initially thought. And that's why having a person who has already stepped up to the working world to give you a piece of advice on how you can be more ready and prepared, it is actually very useful. And other initiative under this program, also we have the Career Bootcamp, where we have real mock interview with the employers. And the employers are actually the human resources personnel from all the top firms, and they will listen to your interview session and give you one-to-one feedback. So I think a lot of the times, interview is just the final decision whether you're successful, you get employed, you get hired, or you need to wait for the next opportunity. But having this mock interview with the top employers, they give you personal and very sincere advice so that you can know where you can improve. In the case you want to apply to their firms in the future, you know what they expect from you, and you have a so-called second chance to impress them. So it actually enhances our opportunity to get employed. And so the whole program is throughout the full 2 year, and you can slowly learn in between each stages to make sure you are ready at the end of the program. Yeah.
Wow, you've absolutely capitalized your campus life, and you went and found out what were the opportunities that were there, and you really, made full use of it. Excellent, really. And I hope those who are listening would be inspired from both your sharings. Let's talk a little bit about, with the current situation of the pandemic, and how is it doing audit with work from home and online? Aaron, you would like to take that?
Yeah, sure. So, well, it came to a shock in March when, we were actually in office, we were actually auditing our client. So we had full access to their database, to their accounting software, and to the documents there. And then suddenly one day, suddenly you read the news, and suddenly you actually watch our Prime Minister's announcement that, oh, we are going to implement MCO. There will be restricted movement. You cannot go out of your house, I think more than 10 kilometers. So it came to a shock, but then as accountants, we must adapt. We must be flexible. So immediately when the announcement happened, we all started working from home. So thankfully for my client, it was actually quite lucky for me that my client was actually quite IT savvy. So most of their documents were actually in soft copy, in electronic form. So I could actually request for documents through the email. And if I have any queries that actually require more face-to-face interaction, since I can't go to their office and actually talk to them, instead I will have Google Meet sessions or sessions like this where we actually have video camp meetings. We actually have phone calls to actually discuss about certain issues or certain documents that we want to find out more information. So it is a transition, I would say. The first 2 to 3 weeks was slightly difficult because imagine waking up at 7 a.m. every day to drive to your workplace for about 30 minutes and then going back at around 8 or 9 p.m. And instead now you are working from home for the whole day. You don't even have to go out of your house. So it was a transition. It was something that we had to adapt. But in the end, after the first 2-3 weeks, it was actually quite nice. Actually, it was a nice change of pace, I would say, because it actually challenged the way we work. It actually challenged the way we thought that, how our audit process would be like. So it actually taught us quite a lot. It was nice. It was an experience, I would say, no matter whether it was good or bad. But it certainly was something that we had to encounter. And yeah, that was my MCO experience auditing. And I guess that this will continue on for maybe the next few months, maybe. So, but then we have to adapt.
Well, the whole business environment is changing, and I don't think it's only confined to business. Even us as lecturers, we just had to adapt overnight and, have all our teaching online, something that we were constantly talking about, but it actually happened. Vishen, I want to hear from you as well. But before that, viewers, do you have any questions for our two celebrities? I know I have asked quite a fair bit, and they have shared quite a lot as well, but you may still have some questions that you want to be answered. So please put their questions in the comment box, and we will pop them up, and we will, get them to answer your questions. What about you, Vishen? How was your experience doing audit during the MCO?
Okay, I'll say that, during MCO, I was working from home, and even until now, I'm also working from home. In between, I will sometimes visit the client. But I think in our professions, we can actually adapt to the new working style very quickly. And instead,
True.
we find it actually quite effective as well. So it's also at the good pace as when we are working face to face. So we need to learn to use a lot of the digital tools, for example, the online meetings. Sometimes we might not get used to it, but after the
True.
transition period, like what Aaron has said, you get used to it. So everyone actually get a better connection through all the digital tools as well. So I think compared to other industry, our profession is less impacted by the COVID-19 because we can still continue our work from home. For example, if let's say I need some documents from the client can just scan over the copy to me, and I can just do the vouching and citing to the documents by looking at the scanned copy. So it doesn't affect a lot unless, there are some confidential documents that I must go to a site physically, then I will need to go there. And other than that, I think we can still conduct our daily audit life as usual. We have meeting with managers and partners through the online portals. We have, some Hangout chat as well as, WhatsApp platform for us to make sure we always get guidance from our seniors as well as the managers. So I think in overall, we are able to adapt to the new working style, and indeed we find it is very effective. So it's good that we can experience this transition earlier as well, because I think in the future world, in the future period, a lot of the companies will be moving towards working from home, maybe not entirely, but maybe a few days in a week. So it's good that we have the exposure and experience that we can go through as early as right now, and then so that we will be more adaptable to the new working style in the future. So I think in overall, we enjoyed working from home as well.
That's nice. And there have always been talks. It's been going on for some time, but I guess everybody was, pushed suddenly, to just do it overnight. There have been talks about working from home, like some companies are doing it once a week and things like that. But this one, literally the whole world had to just adapt overnight. Aaron, you said it seems like you're working the whole day. Are you saying that you're working longer hours by working from home?
Well, for the first few weeks, yes, because it is a transition. So during the first few weeks, I actually felt slightly less efficient because I have to adapt to some new process that I have to do now. So instead of just finding my client there and then just requesting for documents, instead I have to send an email, wait for the client to receive it, and wait for a few hours before the client actually send it back to me. So for the first few weeks, it was a transition for me. So yes, I did work slightly longer hours, but after that, I felt that even though I'm working from home, but it doesn't mean that I have to work 24 hours a day. I still must be able to have a clear line between what is work and what is actually my personal life.
True.
So
Have to strike a balance.
yeah, we have to strike a balance. So after those few weeks of transition, I actually told myself that okay, by this by this time I will try to slowly stop what I'm doing and start doing what I am supposed to do personally in my personal life. So yeah, it only happened during the first few weeks.
Okay, excellent. Let's take some questions from the viewers. Can we have the questions from the viewers, please? Are there any questions from the viewers? All right. What motivates you to keep studying when you are exhausted? Who would like to take this question?
Okay, I think I can share about my experience. I think ACCA and CAT is definitely not an easy course. If I say it's easy, I mean it's not easy. It's definitely challenging. But why is it challenging? Because the course quality is very good. It prepares you for the working world. So what motivates me to keep studying when I'm exhausted? I think I always keep my motto in mind, which Miss Kiran has shared earlier. Always believe that I'm possible. So you might be afraid when you hear your senior saying that ACCA is so tough, it's impossible for me to finish at the first attempt. So you should stop thinking negatively and instead tell yourself I'm possible. And then you must believe in yourself so that you get your energy and motivation by remembering your motto and also to prove to everyone else that I can do it, I am possible. So yeah, I think that's really important. And also by having a goal in your mind. So why is ACCA tough? When it's very hard, it's very difficult, I will stop and think whether I regret to take this course or not. But end up usually I become motivating myself to continue studying because maybe I can share with you about my experience. If you look at the ACCA brochure, there is a word cloud in front at the cover page. So what attracted me was the word CFO. So it gave me an impression that how good the quality of the syllabus can be by preparing you to be a CFO. But also it hints that it's not going to be easy. So of course we know that if you want to climb to a high position, you have to have a very strong foundation and technical knowledge. So if you want to go to that far by keeping your goal in mind, you must make sure you have to be strong and tough to go through all the challenges. So maybe you can imagine one day you are very successful. Maybe you can remember and recall there are so many friends and lecturers and families supporting you along the way. If you give up right now, all your effort will be gone. So yeah, so after that you will try to comfort yourself. Maybe you can release your stress and go out and relax for a while, take a break, and then continue your momentum to study hard. Yeah.
Basically, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Aaron, what about you? Taking on Ajit's question. What motivates you to keep studying when you're exhausted?
Well, whenever in my day-to-day life, what I like to have is to always keep the angle. What angle do I have in mind? So back in college, whenever I feel tired, whenever I feel like giving up, I always thought, why am I doing this course in the first place? If I were to give up so suddenly, wouldn't it not achieve what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be? So always have an end goal in mind. So like the end goal must be specific. There must be a timeline. So within 2 years or perhaps within 1 year, what do I want to become and what am I doing now to actually move towards that end goal? So these are the things that actually motivate me, which I believe that everyone should have, which is end goal in mind. So that you are not doing just for the sake of doing, but you are doing in order to achieve something that you want to have or what do you want to do in the future. So yeah, and of course studying can be tiring. That one we all have to admit. So what I would do when I have this sudden tiredness is to actually stop studying, walk around the campus, walk around the college for a while. Our college is quite big, to be honest, so you can walk around the field and all, just look at the look at the scenery, talk to your friends. I have friends around my table most of the time. So if I feel tired, I just walk to them and then just just talk to them, just have a chit chat. So it's all these small tiny things that actually help to
Certainly.
keep you more motivated in life. So and actually the most important thing for me is actually friends and goals.
All right, thank you. Very good sharing. What about next question, please? Kiwi says, "Do you like your job, Aaron?"
Well, okay. So I just to give a brief background, I joined audit in PwC in July 2019. So what most people would think audit would be like is that is something very mechanical, something that day in day out you do the same thing. Well, that is a perception that we all have when in college or when you ask people around. So once I actually started doing audit, it is actually very, very different from what I thought. So what we actually do every day is different. And from today,
Very
I could
true.
be doing analytics, I could be doing substantive analytics, I could be examining patterns, I could be examining trends, seeing how does this account work, why is this year suddenly so high, why was last year suddenly so
Yep.
low, why is there suddenly a new account code, we every day we must have this question, why is this happening, why is this being done. So and every single day we are actually exposed to all of these very, very different sections of audit. So audit is not something that is very very singular. It's actually very dynamic. So so I also had the blessing. I also had the opportunity to actually explore quite a lot of industries in audit, and every single industry, be it the property development industry, the oil and gas, the trade and retail, all of these will have different ways of actually studying the company, understanding the business environment, understanding how does the industry work and how does the industry actually face the challenges that they have. And especially during this COVID-19 pandemic, we
True.
actually can see a lot of challenges that these businesses face and how are they actually coping with it, and actually learn a lot on all these strategies that the companies are actually employing to actually help them to get out of this turmoil for now. And I also have again, I was blessed to have very wonderful, awesome teammates. So they are extremely honest. They actually help me in my daily life in how to be a better auditor, and not only that, and how to be a better person, how to actually improve the way I think, the way I actually approach things that I actually see. So thank you to Kiwi for this question. And in short, I do like my job, and I do not have a regret ever since I joined in July 2019 last year.
Having a positive attitude is so important in anything you do at work. There is always a lot of learning, and I can see that in you and even in Vision. Both of you are always looking for something positive, and that's the one that has kept you both going, and kept the momentum going as well. Many a times, when people first join, oh, why am I photocopying? Why am I doing this? It's always more on the negative. But both of you are like, oh, okay, today I'm learning this. Today I'm learning that, and your positive attitude certainly plays a vital role in helping you to grow. And what you said as well, in terms of having excellent teammates, because most of the day, quite a fair bit of the day, we are at work, and having teammates you can work with and who inspire you plays a vital role as well. All right, so can we have a next question, please? Shingni is asking, do you have times when you feel like giving up because it's too tough? And what did you do to overcome it? Vincent, would you like to take that?
Okay, sure. Well, I do have the times when I feel like giving up, especially when I move on to the higher level. It's getting tougher and tougher. So I think one of the skill that ECC indirectly taught me was to never give up. Yeah, because the syllabus are tough, the syllabus are heavy, so you need to make sure you are strong. So I do have instances where I feel like giving up because maybe, the questions are so difficult to understand. And also, maybe, I cannot score as high as what I expected. So I didn't meet my target. So that's the time where I feel a little more down compared to other days. So I think that is a very important point where you can decide whether you just stop and do nothing, or you take that as a hint for you to continue improving from there. So whenever I feel it's very tough, so I don't stop there, but instead I want to overcome it by, for example, looking for the lecturer, stay back after classes to ask them questions until I can understand. Or maybe ask your friends, ask your classmates who always revise with you, and they have a different way of explanation to make it clearer for you, and so you overcome that situation. Or maybe if I don't get to score as high as what I aim for, so maybe you will feel sad for a while, but the more important thing is you should do a self-reflection, how I can do better from there. Is it because I have a wrong study technique? I worked very hard, but I didn't get a good score. What's wrong? So I need to go take a step back to do a self-reflection to make sure, I can improve from there. So also, like what I said earlier, the motto that I'm upholding, I'm possible to understand the question. I'm possible to score higher next time. I'm possible to do anything that, I want to achieve, will keep you to be motivated and make sure, you never give up. So I think that's a very important turning point. So you have two options. It's up to you to choose whether you want to just let it go and you continue, being at that level, stop at that level, or you can move on, and become better and faster. So that's a turning point. So always keep your motivation as well as your end goal in mind, so that whenever you feel like giving up, try to, maybe write it down somewhere. Look at it whenever you feel so tired, whenever you feel so
Very true.
depressed. Yeah. Look at your end goal. So you expect the road to be tough, but you are prepared to face the road. And that's when you will keep yourself to be more motivated and stronger. Yeah. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Certainly, to attain something which is of high recognition and as prestigious as ACCA, it's certainly not going to be a smooth and a simple journey. Yeah, dedication, commitment, and there's a bit of a misconception that thinking that perseverance is one long race. It's actually many short races, one after another. And just like your papers, you can't finish all of them at one go. It's step by step. And yes, what you said just now, Version, that you will stay back to ask questions. I remember that. To
Yes, thanks
clarify
for
your
Miss
doubts.
Kiran for guiding.
Oh,
Yeah.
my pleasure, my pleasure. All right, do we have any more questions? Vinma is asking, is there a difference of taking an account? Is there a difference in taking an accounting and a finance degree first and continuing to finish an ACCA paper? Shall I take that question? Right,
Yeah,
I'll take
sure.
that question. All right, so there are two options of doing. You could come in and do your CAT, and then for your ACCA you will get an exemption on the knowledge level, 3 papers. So you move on straight away to your skill level, which is 6 papers, and then you will do your strategic level, 4 papers. 2 are compulsory and 2 out of 4. So you have 4 papers, you choose 2 from there, and the first 2 are compulsory. So in total, you do 10 papers. If you're a degree program, and depending on your degree, you will apply to ACCA. And if your degree meets up with all what the requirements set up by ACCA, you will get the full exemption of your skills level. So you only will need to pursue the strategic level, which are the 4 papers. There are, is there a difference? Well, in a degree program, you will go at a slower pace. You will end up, it's a different approach where you would have group discussions. The marks are given based on class assignments, your attendance, your final assignment, projects, right? Whereas ACCA is a full final paper. Whatever happens during the semester, it's not counted. You could do self-studying, you could do online studying, you could attend classes, and your marks are based on the final exam. All right, so I guess that's what you were probably asking. What was the difference? Yes, Venma. All right, maybe have another question. Yenmei is asking, accountant and auditor, which one is preferable? As an auditor, you will be in a, I'll take that question as well, yeah? So as an auditor, you will be in a professional service firm, and once you finish your ACCA, you become an affiliate. To get your membership, you need 3 years of relevant experience. So being in the audit line, preferably you can have your full 3 years. If not, at least 2 out of your 3 years should be in audit. What is the advantage of being in audit? In audit, in a very short span of time, you get exposure to many different companies. And as an accountant, you're in commercial, you get to know in depth, in detail, the accounting financial system of that one organization. Right? And when you want to attain your membership, there is a PER, personal experience requirement, which you need to complete and needs to be endorsed by your employer. You will submit it to ACCA. ACCA will review that and you will get your membership. You need 3 years of relevant experience. More details will be available in your personal experience record. They will have more details there. Right? Next question, please. Do we have any more questions? While waiting for the questions, Aaron, who inspires you?
Who inspires me? Wow, that's actually quite a tough question, because to be honest, it is not a single individual. It was actually many small things in life. So my friends inspire me to be better. My lecturers inspire me to study harder. My parents inspire me to be a better person. My friends inspire me to be a much more proactive person. So it is not a singular individual, but it is actually a collection of many group of people who, in one way or another, actually inspire me to be much better, as not only as a person, as a student, and also as an auditor.
All right. What about you, Vaishan? Who
think,
inspires you?
Actually, it's very similar to Aaron as well. I don't have a specific person who I am inspired, but actually it's like I like to learn from everyone. I think everyone, they has their own strengths, and everyone is so unique that they have something that I need to learn from. For example, can be just your friends. Everyone can be so different. They are coming from different backgrounds, and they know different things from you. So that's when you can learn from one another. So maybe I can elaborate more by giving you an example. When I joined competitions, I met a lot of friends from different backgrounds, different colleges, as well as different positions. So they are all amazing people. So like in every single individual, there is definitely something that I look up to, and you have to make sure that you are very humble in learning from them. So even though it's a competition, it's competitive, but end up, the friends that we made during the competitions, we actually ended up to be close friends, supporting each other. For example, my friend might be very good in case study, then he will try to teach me to how to be better in analyzing a case study. And also, some of my friends, they are more creative. So sometimes we will communicate with one another to exchange ideas, so that we can identify more interesting ideas. As well as, the teachers, they are very experienced, and they come from many different backgrounds. So they have been through the roads that I haven't been through. So I learn from their experience, so that, I can also improve myself. So for every single individual that I have met in my life, I actually, learn from them, look up for
Very
their
true.
strengths, also,
Very
and
true.
also exchange our strength. Be humble in learning, also be willing to teach one another. And I think that
Yes.
collaboration is very important.
Very
We need
important,
to,
yeah.
inspire and motivate one another to make sure, we can keep the momentum in life. Yeah.
Inspire and be inspired.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
All right. What about some last words to our viewers? Aaron, what are your last words to our viewers?
Okay.
Give them something to take away.
Okay. Three simple things. One, never give up. ACCA is not an easy course, but it is definitely something that is very fruitful. So when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Always persevere. Always remember what's your, and number two, always remember what's your end goal in life. So sometimes when you face difficulties, always remember why are you doing this. What is the main reason why you are doing a particular thing, why you studying. So, and you always remember these things, it will actually help to motivate you. It will actually help to bring you up from where you are down. And number three, join competitions. Yes, studying ACCA is something that's of course very necessary, but joining competitions help to build up your capabilities, build up your soft skills, your critical thinking skills, and also helps to widen your network of friends. So instead of just having friends in only one college, you can have friends from even in other countries, from Thailand, from Singapore, and even from other colleges in around Malaysia. So all of these networks actually help you. They may not be helping you now, but in the future, you never know. One day you actually meet up with them and actually exchange ideas, and something great may come up.
All right, that was excellent. Thank you, Aaron. What about you, Vishen? What about last words for your viewers?
Yeah, I think I will share two main points. One is I hope everyone can also, remember the motto is always believing that I am possible. I think the right thinking is very important because sometimes it's our thinking that limit how far we can go. So don't don't limit your potential. We actually can do much more better than we think we can. So by having the right thinking, believing that I'm possible, so you will start to take initiative, the very first step to, for example, join ACCA or maybe join a competition, join an event, start your very first presentation in front of the crowd. Is every single first step started with the right thinking of believing that you are possible. So you wouldn't know how far you can go if you don't try. And also sometimes you won't identify your strength if you don't give an opportunity to yourself. So I think by having the right attitude, right thinking, and take initiative to explore to different experiences, that's very important. And the second point that I would like to share is, a lot of students or maybe a lot of people think that ACCA student has no life because it's always just studying and doing revision. I was told about this as well before I started ACCA, but after I've been through the whole CAT and ACCA journey myself, I actually think that, it's true and not true. Why? Because it's definitely challenging. It's true that we need to have a lot of times that we need to close ourselves in a room to study. When your friends, ask you for a hangout, you can't go because you have exam. But it's also not true because, like what I've mentioned earlier, we plan our college life. So how are we going to plan where and how we want to spend our time is very important. So I believe in creating our own college life instead of, thinking that ACCA students has no life. I don't think I don't have a college life. Instead, I enjoy my college life a lot. So you decide how you want your college life to be.
Very true.
A very fruitful, a very memorable one, or if you, just want to it really depends on individual. So you write your own story for your own college life. So it might be once in a lifetime experience to be studying in a college if you are not pursuing further studies. So you need to really take that opportunity to make sure you have a memorable and amazing one. Yeah.
Wow, what a wonderful sharing session. And I must thank Sunway TES, the admin side, to put me on this platform to host both of you. I was impressed by reading your resume and having this opportunity to personally chat with both of you. Thank you so much for being here. Totally amazed with your approach and your go-getting attitude, wanting to gain as much as you can, maximizing your college life, pursuing not just your academic, but also taking part in many things. I trust that the viewers today who were online, has certainly benefited from this. You have definitely changed the perspective that ACCA students are not typical squares, right? And, we can have a wonderful and a colorful life. I would like to end the session by saying this quote: success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And that's from Winston Churchill. Those of you who are online and thinking of signing up, the best place to sign up is always, of course, Sunway TES. ACCA and Sunway TES is the best and the perfect combination you can have. Goodbye, adios, farewell, everyone. Cheers.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.